you guys seem to like my basic tutorials of like PvP for all those people that are like going through it for the very first time or may not understand all the implied mechanics of PvP. And like all of the things that go behind the scenes and like things that you don't catch just by looking at people killing each other. There's a lot of things that have been learned throughout the PvP community over time that really isn't, I guess, it's not like substantially explained. And I think that this video is going to go over fake casting, which is more of an advanced move in PvP. It's something that's pretty unique to World of Warcraft. There's not a whole lot of like fake cast interrupts in other games. And I think that explaining this real quick so that you guys can learn and apply it to your own arenas will not only help you like outplay other people, but again, it'll help you like increase your rating. It'll help you do all those things, right? So let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to explain a couple things real quick. I'm going to be doing this in 2 segments. So it's going to be, the first part of the video is going to be explaining how to fake cast, how to juke out interrupts. And then the second part is going to be how to interrupt correctly and like obviously do it with the least amount of chance to fail, I suppose, is the best way to explain it. So for people that don't know what fake casting is, it's also called juking. It's also called faking out a cast. Yeah, all those things. There's like a lot of different terms for it. But what it means is that whenever you cast your ability, and then you interrupt, and then you stop casting, and he uses his stuttered there. He uses his interrupt. That means I can continue casting without being interrupted on that school of magic. And as you can see here, I have an add-on called Omnibar, and that allows me to track all of the different types of interrupts that enemies are doing on like a real-time basis. So in an arena, I can actually see them using their interrupts and able to track that to see when they fail. As well. So as you can see there, he just uses Spearhand Strike and I was not interrupted, which means that I can continue casting, and that's what fake casting is. So how do you do that? You know, that's really the question here. How do you make that happen on a consistent basis? And this is why it's kind of an advanced move for people to know, because it's always like a mind game. It's a mind game between you and the enemy player. And with that being said, there's a lot of different things that you can do, but whenever I like to go into a new match, I like to explain it from there's a 64 druid, let's just make that guy's day sad. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach it, and I think that the main thing is that you want to approach it from like fast to, or like you want to stop casting at the beginning of your cast, and then like gradually be more lenient with that. So what I mean by that is if you walk into an arena with somebody that has an interrupt, you can obviously start casting and then like immediately cancel it. So like right there, you see like 20%, 20 to 25% of my cast, I'm actually canceling it by either strafing, moving forward, or hitting escape, whatever is more comfortable for you. And then at that point, you can really track whether or not somebody is like trying to interrupt you based off of their reaction time or not. Which is one method that people use where they'll try to interrupt you as fast as possible. They'll try to get that very beginning of the cast, and you'll have like, that's like the best possible scenario because you can actually play off of that playstyle way easier than having to go through a better player's playstyle, which I'll explain in just a moment. But again, what you're going to want to do is when you go into an arena, you're going to be testing that out. If they use their interrupt on you immediately like that, as you're doing this method, and they try to interrupt you and off of a reaction time, that's great because you already have them figured out. Like, boom, you've got them. That means that you can continually do that method and still have success. But the better players, or the players that will adapt on you, are going to do something where they will start waiting you out. They'll start waiting out your cast to see if you continuously fake cast or not. Because if you're fake casting, you're not doing anything. And that's beneficial for them. So with that being said, that's when you need to start testing the waters a little bit harder. That's when you get to the 50% cast bar, and then you start like kind of testing the waters there. As opposed to doing it at 20% through the cast, you can actually do it 50% through the cast, and as you can see, he missed his interrupt right there. No problem like that. So you can start testing the waters, start kind of baiting him out to use that interrupt while still fake casting. And if he's still not doing it, this is what most of the top players in the world will do. So this is where we're at now. If they still are not interrupting you because they know that you're fake casting, if they know that they're going to get juked if they use that interrupt, they'll just not use it. They'll just not use the interrupt. They'll call your bluff, and they'll wait for you to pretty much die because, again, when you're fake casting, you're not doing anything. You're not casting any abilities. You're just trying to juke out the interrupt. That's the only goal of that tactic. So what the best players in the world are going to do is they're going to actually, get to like 70%, or like right there on the cast bar, like 65 to 70% of the thing, and then they'll just stop casting because most players will wait out the cast bar until the very last possible millisecond until that interrupt is no longer obtainable, which means like the spell goes through, for example. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get pretty far into it. If that is still not working, as you can see, I just juked him out right there. He did actually try to interrupt me, and it did not work because I was able to really like trick him out there. And if you get to like 60 to 65%, I think that's really like the maximum amount that you can try to fake cast. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. And you're probably just you'll need to find a better opportunity to cast where you don't have to do those fake casts, or you'll have to wait till they use an interrupt on something else. Okay? And that brings me to the second part of this video, is I want to explain from the other side of the spectrum. Fake casting is something that people have a lot of problems with, and from a melee standpoint, your job is really only to interrupt. You don't have any ability to be interrupted. So how do you deal with fake casting, right? How do you also get past that whenever somebody's juking you out? What can you do to improve your play? And again, this is going to be something that you have to constantly improve over time, and is something that is reliant on your player skill. This has nothing to do with your class. This has nothing to do with like somebody being more OP than you or whatever people think. This is solely based on the mind game that you have with the enemy player. Now, if you have somebody fake casting you, and like I said earlier, if somebody starts trying to test your reaction time by just casting and then immediately stopping it, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to immediately recognize that, and then you're going to want to wait until the last very possible second in order to interrupt them. So I'm going to tell my monk friend to start using his cast ability, and as you can see, I'm going to interrupt him at the very last second, and then he totally juked me out there. See, that's like what a good player would do. But if you wait till that very last moment, like right there on the cast bar, and interrupt him, then that is the best possible way you're going to get the interrupt. But at the same time, there's weaknesses to what he's doing there. So as you can see, I have now learned that he fake casts at that 70% marker. So what you can do is actually catch them off guard and interrupt off of that base reaction time type thing, and you can still land that fake cast, or you can land that interrupt because you adapted in the arena to what their playstyle is like. It's totally a mind game. It's like it honestly is. It's totally a mind game, but it's something you have to be able to learn and recognize what the best course of action is whenever you take the time to like think about how they are playing with their cast and how you should be playing in return for your interrupts. And that goes through obviously doing the opposite. So if they're trying to cast and get your reaction time, again, I'm just repeating myself so everybody learns here. If they're trying to juke you out based off of reaction time in the first like 20% of their cast, then that's when you will start waiting out and you will start baiting them out to start casting longer, and get that like interrupt at the very last point. But if they are juking you out and they're fake casting you at the end of their cast, then you need to start doing it off a reaction point time. And this is going to constantly change throughout arenas, so you need to just practice it, get a game sense. People will flip-flop on you all the time. That's what the best players in the world do, is that they always change up their style. They never like continuously repeat when they fake cast, because that is like, obviously you can read that better. But as you do this more, as you learn more, as you play more, you will definitely be more in tune with what you need to do for a fake casting type scenario. So again, with like interrupts, because interrupts are so important for arena, guys. So be sure to learn this. Be sure to practice this. Like go out with a friend like this. I actually had to pay this guy. I don't have any friends. And just go out with somebody and try to get this done. Try to like practice for, I don't know, 20 minutes until you kind of get it. Just ask them to change up their style and ask them to stop, try to fake you out with your interrupts, and then you'll eventually start learning this. But I hope you did enjoy this video, guys. If you did, be sure to give a big thumbs up on this video if you learned anything from it at all. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. I'm able to release a bunch of these like tutorials, I suppose. If you have anything that you really want to learn specifically, like from a general standpoint on PvP, that like maybe like diminishing returns is something I just did, but also interrupts is something that's like very general. If there's something like that that you want to learn more about that's not super specific, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys are looking to learn. That is it on YouTube right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can check out my website for all of my advanced comprehensive class guides that will be coming out very soon for 7.1. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.